Good afternoon. Obviously excited about being here. Just reflect back on our past game and say this: our kids are giving us everything they got, and I'm very, very, very pleased with that. And good group of young men. I'm excited to have the opportunity to go on the field with them every day. And it's in a lot of ways a special group. Sometimes when people can't find a reason to fight, these guys can, and they've got plenty of reason. And it starts with character. Got a great character football team right now, and we got some talent. Came up short. We had opportunities. Unusual game the way it started. With the kickoff return, and we go out there and give up a drive that we could have played better on. There's no question about that. And then at the end of the game, the next to the last drive, we gave them some things, had some penalties. That's one of the things that we got to address. Had 6 penalties. We've been good in that area. 3 of them were pre-snap penalties. Those are things that we got to get handled. Being offsides, those frustrate you a lot worse than some of the other ones that happened during the play. But we had 2 hands to the face, and it hurt us on that drive, and gives them some momentum. But again, we'll get that corrected, and our kids will be ready to compete. With that said, I'll take questions.
Just as far as the games you've coached, how does the tandem of the Harris and Greenlaw for that game rank among the linebackers you've coached?
Well, I don't think there's any question. It's the best productivity that I've been around, and I've been around some really good players, some great players, and I said this back in the spring that I thought these 2 guys, were really special players. They played that way Saturday, and we got to continue to get better. I didn't play perfect. Neither one of them did. But they laid it on the line. They're fun to coach. They're fun to be around. But I don't know what it was, 26, 28. I'm not sure, and 2 interceptions. That's a lot of productivity, and they were still playing hard and played on special teams too. So. Really appreciate their effort, appreciate their leadership.
Coach, you played a lot of Nick Saban teams over the years. How have you seen his offense adapting in recent years up to where they are right now? Well,
there's been a whole lot of things, obviously, and I think Coach Saban's where he's at because he's a great coach. There's no question about that, and I think he's adapted. And I think it helps his defense. I see them doing a lot of things offensively that that are very, very difficult to defend, and I think that helps his defense and their preparation. But I know he's had a bunch of different coordinators, but and I don't have any inside information other than the fact that I say there's no question who's running that program, and it's Coach Saban. He does a tremendous job. He's got his fingerprint on every aspect of it, and that's what's made him and helped him be successful, and obviously great knowledge of the game on both sides of the ball.
Chief, you've played Alabama a whole lot as a player, as an assistant coach. What's it meant to you over the years to play him that much? What's it been like to play him so often?
Well, it's you look at the program and where it is now. We had an opportunity to play them when they were great, and we had an opportunity for about 7 or 8 years at Tennessee where we were much better than them. And certainly that's turned around, and they're one of the best programs in the country, and that speaks for itself. And you want to play the best. You want to play the best, and you find out where you are and how you measure up. And it's you may say, is he serious about that? You're doggone right. We want to know where we got to go to get to be at that point. And certainly we're looking at it right now, and we're going to prepare our guys to go play this game. And it's when you play a number 1. you should be at your best, and we need to be at our best.
When you look at Tua and what he's done for that offense, what do you see from him and his ability, especially on third down, to create plays for them?
Well, he's a special guy. There's no question about that, And I think they have two excellent quarterbacks, 2 years ago, you have a quarterback that was on the Heisman ballot, went to New York, and has led that team very, very well. And he's done a great job, handling the two quarterbacks that he has, and it's impressive. But Tua is a guy that can beat you running, can beat you throwing, and beat you in a lot of different ways. And that's where it's kind of changed through the years. 7 or 8, maybe 10 years ago, they were run, play action, drop back team. Now they do it all. They do it all, and they got the guy that touches the ball every time is really, really good and well coached.
We can see the production of the linebackers, but what's happening up front to give those guys a chance, and who's playing well there?
Well, talked about that last week even before the game, and I think particularly inside and even at the defensive ends, but particularly inside, our guys have been solid all year, and we got to, and that was a starting point for us, and we got to continue to grow there, but. It's a lot easier when you got guys that are being active up front and attacking the line of scrimmage. It's a lot easier for those linebackers to clean up stuff. And, certainly, if you're good enough and you're getting a push on some of the double teams, they have to stay on them a little longer. And our guys have done a good job of doing that. And when they haven't, then they've been able to make plays. So it all goes together. It starts up front. There's no question about that. And that's where you got to be. You want to be great at every position, but you got to be great up front if you're going to compete, particularly in the SEC.
Yeah, Chief, I think at the Dijon, if I understood it right, he asked to be on punt coverage. I know he had 2 or 3 tackles. What'd you think about his performance? And I was watching a replay of the game, and the announcer said that you had gone to Ty Story and thanked him for his toughness and said the defense really appreciated that. I was wondering if you could elaborate on that.
Well, we want to do, and we talked about that last week, we want to do whatever we need to do to move this program forward. And certainly, it's a lot easier. And let me say this, and this is the absolute truth. It's a lot easier to install a defense and get it going a lot quicker than an offense can. Now, there may be exceptions. But, we want to play the style of defense that will take some pressure off our offense. And, are we getting there or are we there? No, we're not there. We need to have more takeaways. And in terms of the quarterback, listen, I take my hat off to that young man. He's a competitor, and he showed heart, and he's going to continue to get better. There's no question about that. And we're a family, and we got to support each other. And when you're in the middle of a storm like we are right now, you better be locked up. You better be locked up. You better be for each other. You better pull for each other. And that's what I see. And to be quite honestly, Coach Morris has done a tremendous job of making sure that our team is that way. It's a team. It's not an offense. It's not a defense. It's not special teams. It's a team. And I think our players care about each other. I really do. I think they love each other and they fight for each other. And that's the attitude that you got to have. And we want to do more. We want to do more on defense to make this thing even better and better. And our offense is getting there. I mean, I'm excited about the things that they're doing. So that's kind of where we are. And we're going to be a family, and we're going to grab each other, and we're going to hold each other accountable. And when you got that going on, then you got a chance to grow as a football team.
Hey, Chief, I want to ask you about the progression of the corners opposite Pulley, McClellan and Buster, how they're coming along, and if you expect to get Brito back at any point or Chevin Callaway.
Well, I don't know when they're going to be back, but I will tell you this: every week they've gotten better. Every week they've gotten better. There's no question about it. And confidence, maturity, technique, fundamentals, and that's what we got to keep doing. We got a couple young guys that are starting to show up, and that's exciting. That's exciting. We're not there yet. We're not there yet, but hey, we're headed in that direction, and that's what's important. Every day, if we can get 1 or 2% better, then we're going to keep growing as a football team, and that's what we got to do. And I mentioned the character. These guys are going out there, and it's not easy. It's not easy going out there and busting your butt and not being able to see the full reward that you want. But, hey, they've been great, and that's what we're going to expect, and that's what we're going to keep doing. But those 2 young corners are growing. Like I said, not where they need to be, and that's okay, as long as they keep the attitude they got and get better every day.
Last question. Yeah, your numbers against the SEC teams have actually improved from the first 3 games, I think. Can you speak to why those total defense numbers have been better the last 2 weeks?
Well, I think if you speak to it, you may be making some excuses, and I'm not going to make excuses, okay? But I'll tell you some reasons. Number one, we're continue to grow fundamentally. Number 2, we've got a couple players back that didn't play in those games, and again, that's not an excuse. And I'm not here to make excuses. I will never make excuses. But we got a couple players back that had helped us become a better defense by them being out there, and that's a big part of it. Thank you very much.